You're listening to Living in Spain podcasts with David Wright.
Okay, so this afternoon I'm here with my good friend Alejandro Salvador, who most of you know by now has got his own company here helping people move to Spain with all the paperwork, tax and accountancy. He's also the honorary British consulate for Almeria. So I just want to go over some of the points that I made in my last video with Alejandro about the new regulations or the new, should I say, interpretations to the visa, the non-lucrative visa. So, hi, afternoon, Alejandro.
Hello, David. Hi.
So a lot of people have asked me about after they work here for 1 year, after they've been here for 1 year on the non-lucrative visa, the main important thing is they will not have to show double the income for the first year after the 12 months. That's correct, yeah?
That's correct. Yeah. When you apply for the non-lucrative visa and you apply with the requirements that they ask, that is money, 27,000 for the first person plus 7,000 for your couple, you can come to Spain and you have to renew after 1 year. And then you have basically three options to renew. The first one is that you renew the same way that you've done in the consulate, in the embassy, Spanish embassy in London or in Manchester, with proving just 1 year. The important thing, or the new interpretation, is not a new law, it's nothing changed, it's that at least the Foreign Office in Almeria, they interpreted that you just need 1 year of income and not 2 years, as we thought at the beginning. You can do that way, or you can do because you are offered a job, and if you are offered a job, you don't have to prove that money again. It's just that you get a 1 year job, right?
Yeah. So it has to be a contract with a proper company, not your mate down the pub, a proper company and a contract for 1 year. But you won't need to show your proof of earnings or anything like that, or the money in the bank if you go for getting that job.
That's correct. You will need to prove that you are getting a contract for 1 year. The company must be well reckoned, or there's not just a 1 day company that is there for that. It's been there, and you will have to show, or the company will show, that they have no debts with the tax office of the Social Security. And the third way of doing that is that if you are looking to do a business yourself, you could do a self-employed. You will have to show that you have a project, that you have an idea, that you have something that it could be interesting, and that's it. But this way of getting the job or starting self-employed is nothing to do with what we've been talking before about the golden visa. Is something else. It's not so complicated as it is for the golden visa to get it through a company, because with the golden visa you have to show that you are going to create jobs, you are going to make an impact in the area where you are going to establish your business, and so on. So it's nothing to do with this third way of getting the non-lucrative visa renewed. You just need to open a business no matter what you do.
So after, the other thing is, some people have asked me about, they want to start here as a hairdresser, for example. So if they come here on a non-lucrative visa and they show that they pass the requirements of the 27,000, 30,000, whatever it might be for them, after 1 year, they don't need to show any more income. They can start as self-employed straight away, and they don't need to show proof of another 27,000 in the bank or assets. They can just start there, and they don't need another visa or a working visa. It just continues from being self-employed. Is that correct?
That's correct. What we do is we change the status of the visa. You come with a non-lucrative visa, and then you renew the same visa, but with the other way. That is starting a business. You don't have to show that you have this income. You have to prove that it's a reliable business, something that is going to be good for you. You have to submit a project with a forecast. It's not such a big deal. It's not very difficult, and any business that is, of course, if you are going to do something that is for yourself, you will try to do it correct. Yeah.
Sure. Great. Okay, so I hope that's cleared up a few points for people, because some people were a bit confused. They thought they might have to apply for another visa after the 12 months, but that's not the case. They can just transit, and it's a change of status in that visa, not a different visa.
That's correct.
Now, some people are saying as well that this isn't all of Spain. It's just for Almeria at the moment, but you're saying that it's probably going to spread to other parts of Spain, or how does that affect?
Well, I mean, the law is the same for everyone. We know because we are based in this area, and we asked the Foreign Office in Almeria about their opinion or the interpretation of this law, and they told us this is the way. Not for the job or for the self-employed. We are talking about the way of renewing the normal lucrative visa with the money. The big difference of what we thought at the beginning was that you don't have to prove 2 years. It's just 1 year, which makes some difference for people that are on the limit. In other provinces like Malaga, Alicante, that is massive, they should apply similar conditions or the same conditions. The interpretation should be more or less the same. We are waiting for a meeting with those, let's say, managers of those offices to know their opinion about this. But probably it will be the same. But if it's not the same, it's something they are more restrictive. In case that they reject, you have the option to appeal, because what is not possible is that someone is getting one opinion or their interpretation. Their interpretation is one way and the other for the same law. So at the end of the day, those that are looking to come and they are limited in the money that they have and they are thinking that they could prove the 27,000 plus your couple, I would encourage them to do it, because one way or the other they could get the extension of these 2 years. So yeah, I think that at the end of the day, we will get that this common interpretation in the whole Spain.
Yeah, and one other thing, if they come on a non-lucrative visa and they've been here for 12 months, the income they have to prove for years 2 and 3, and how long does that go on for? 4, 5 years? What is the status there? If you're just here, you don't want to work or anything like that, just coming to live in your house here in Spain, you've passed 1 year or year 2 and 3 with the same amount, how does that work? Up to how many years before you get is it 5 years or?
Yes, this is how it works. First, you apply in England or where outside the European Union where you live for this non-lucrative visa at the Spanish embassy or the consulate. If it's England, in London or in Manchester. I think in Edinburgh you can also apply. And they ask you your conditions for 1 year. After this, the first year you have to renew it, and they will give you 2 years more, but you just have to prove 1 year of income, right? The same conditions as before, the insurance, the medical policy, and those things. But they will you will get 2 years. After these 2 years, you will have to renew it again for 2 years, proving just the income for 1 year. So in total, you will have 5 years. When you have 5 years, it's like you are permanent in Spain, and you will renew for another 5 years. So it's 1, 2, 2, and then 5. Because after these 5 years, they consider you as permanent resident, and they will give you an extension of another 5 years. But not proving 5 years, you will have to prove again for 1 year.
Yeah, okay. And something I've been thinking about, and I just want you to confirm this. If, for example, somebody came here for the first year on a non-lucrative visa, and then after 1 year, because when people come here, they have to prove a private medical insurance, which is very expensive for a lot of people.
For some people, yeah.
So if they decide to go self-employed and they set up a business, they can cancel that private medical policy because the social security payments includes a health cover. Is that correct?
That's correct. Correct.
And it's not just for, if I was to start up as self-employed, which I've done in the past, it's for my wife and my children that live with me in the house are included in that payment. In my social security payments, they're included in the health system here. Am I correct?
You are correct, yes. When you apply to be self-employed in Spain, you have to pay what we call autonomous. Autonomous is a healthcare contribution where you pay to sustain the healthcare system. This healthcare system, you will have access for free to any medical, any treatment, or anything that you need. You and your family, it's not just for you. And if you have that, if you go on the autonomous route, you will not have to prove that you have your private medical policy, because what we need is that you have healthcare coverage, that it can come from the private medical policy or through the public system. So when you renew And also not just on the for the autonomous way. You could do it if you are an employee. If you are an employee, you have the same. You will be paying. Covered. Your company will be paying in your name Social Security, so you don't have to prove again that you have this private insurance. Yeah. So this is good for people. Some people that they are early retired, or they are on the age that they are not retired, and they can't. It's not easy for them to get private healthcare, or it's very expensive, or they have something previously that they are not. It's not included, or it's very expensive because of that. This is a way of paying 1 year, and from the second year, if they start working for someone or they start their own business, it's a way of paying to the healthcare system, paying a contribution, and not necessarily they don't need to pay this private system.
So that could be a big saving, especially as now, if I'm correct, it's still to start self-employed. It's €70 a month to start your self-employed, so, and that's including your insurance. So that's a lot better than €1,000 a year for private health cover that some people I know are paying.
Yeah, in Spain, one big handicap that we have to start businesses is this payment itself, because the normal people pay €300, or the people that they've been there for a while, they pay €300 per month just for the Social Security contribution. That we need to add also that it's not just to pay the system, it's also for a future pension. Yeah. You are including there payments, contributions for a future pension. And what they did, the government did some years ago to encourage people starting as self-employed, as autonomous, is to reduce the amount that you have to pay for the first 2 years. So you start, as you said, you start paying €70, then it increased to 100 and something, and from the third year is when you start paying the full amount, that today is around €300.
And if I'm correct as well, the pension is after you've been paying into the system for 15 years, is that right? You're allowed to start to draw?
No, now they increased to 20 years.
20 years now.
And depending on when you are going to retire, probably it will be extended. Okay. Now the age of retirement is 67 in Spain, and probably in the future it will be more than that because of the expectation of life. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, well, thanks very much, Alejandro, for clearing up those points. Appreciate it. Thanks very much.
If you have enjoyed this podcast by David Wright, then you will love his new books. Out now on Amazon and Kindle, packed with money-saving tips and information on living and working in Spain. Just go to livinginspainbooks.com. David also has a popular blog for expats in Spain. Come and take a look now at britishexpatsinspain.com.